invent, or change. This book in time will be worth more to you than any you could buy in any store. Prior to using herbs in magic, it's best to grind them. Drying herbs activates their energies to a certain extent, but some are lost as well. Grinding herbs activates their magical energies. Add any herb, such as this dragon's blood, to the mortar and pestle. Now, after scrunching up a little bit, begin grinding in a clockwise motion. In magic, clockwise motions are thought to imbue the herb with positive vibrations. Counterclockwise motions are thought to imbue it with negative energies. It's easy to stick with a clockwise motion, and in magic it's best to do so. Continue grinding until you've reduced the herb to a powder. Some herbs grind quite easily, like this dragon's blood does, and most herbs such as rosemary, things like that. Frankincense and other herbs are really a problem. They usually start sticking and mucking up the mortar and pestle while you grind them, and so a very light touch is required. After a few minutes, the herb should be ground to a powder, and it's ready to be used in magic. Incense, magic smoke, smoldering herbs and spices, oils and barks. Sense of magic, incenses to change your life. For centuries, witches and magicians have used incense in magic to strengthen the effects of spells and rituals. Powerful recipes were once kept secret and were rarely passed to others. When these incenses were burned in ritual, they drew love, money, power, and protection to the magician, drove out evil and sickness, and enhanced spirituality and psychic awareness. Okay, let's make a protection incense. You'll need rosemary, cedar, and juniper berries. All these herbs have been ground. We're going to make granulated or powdered incense. This is the easiest type to make and the most used in magic. Sticks, cones, and blocks are fine, but are difficult to make without practice. Start with the powdered forms first. Once the herbs are ground, they are enchanted. This applies to all forms of herb magic. Enchanting or attuning herbs reaffirms the energies you've aroused during the grinding process. You can enchant each herb separately or mixed together. For time considerations, here I'll enchant them collectively. You decide what works best for you. Pour each herb into a mixing bowl, keeping in mind the eventual purpose of the herb product, in this case, protection. Now, rub your hands briskly together to sensitize them above the bowl. Start running your fingers through the herbs in the bowl, mixing them, blending their energies as you continue to visualize your magical goal. While doing this, visualize or imagine your fingers streaming with your own energies. With your imagination, charge this energy with protection, since this is a protection incense. This energy mixes with that of the herbs, and as you continue to mingle the herbs, they absorb this power. Mix until you feel the herbs tingling or vibrating. If you wish, chant a simple rhyme which encapsulates the energies you need in the final product. Once you know the herbs are glowing and radiating energy, that's it. The incense is made. Now to burn it. You can burn it as part of a larger spell or simply use it as a ritual in and of itself. You need a censer, an incense burner, as well as a charcoal block. This isn't the kind you use in the barbecue, but a specially made charcoal for incense use. These are available at religious supply stores or by mail from one of the retailers shown at the end of this video. If you can't find a suitable censer, take any bowl and half fill with sand. This makes a fine censer. Now, light the charcoal block. As you do this, it will start to sputter and glow. Quickly place it in the censer and wait until the sputtering and glowing is stopped. If you don't like the smoke this causes, hold the block next to an open window. If you have a particular protective or other spell to perform, set up the required objects, pour on the incense, and begin. Or simply place white candles on either side of the censer, add some incense to the charcoal block, and visualize. Fingers, a spoon, or any incense spoon can be used to place the incense on the charcoal block itself. Fingers aren't best because it's difficult to accurately place the incense on the block. Spoons give greater control. As you light the charcoal block and add the incense to it, you are keeping the spell in mind, visualizing protective concepts or objects. And that's about it. Let the smoke rise until it stops, then add a bit more incense to the charcoal. Repeat this until you're satisfied the incense has done its work. All this time, you're still focusing your mind toward the incense's goal. If, for example, you're needing personal protection, see the smoke swirling around you to form a protective film or shield against which no negativity can cross. If guarding the home, car, or another person, visualize accordingly. Here are 4 more incense recipes for you to try. With experimentation, you'll discover your own blends. Power incense is burned when the magician needs extra energy for spells and rites. Luck incense is used as a gentle purification incense and also to change your luck from bad to good. Burn with concentration and vow to put yourself in lucky situations. Burn wishing magic incense when performing wish spells or during any kind of magical rite. To attract a passionate love, burn this incense before a night on the town. Proper use of the censer is an important tool. With a swinging censer, you have greater control over its motions. There are three basic ways to move the censer: in a clockwise circle, a counterclockwise circle, and a side-to-side swing. Clockwise or diosal swings invite positive vibrations, deities, and energies. This is used to bless or consecrate for protection and other positive types of magic. Counterclockwise or widdershins motions dispel negativity and are used in exorcisms, banishings, and purifications. Most widdershins censer movements are immediately followed up with diosal or clockwise swings to cancel out the negative energies which inevitably remain. Side-to-side motions are often used at altars to invoke goddesses and gods, ancestral spirits, or elemental forces. It's important to practice until you can perform the swing with ease, otherwise you may have your censer spilling its charcoal onto the floor. When sensing rooms in an entire house, move slowly from room to room, swinging the censer and replenishing the incense when necessary. Of course, you needn't swing the censer at all. For many rites, it's more important for the censer to remain on the altar or between flaming candles. But when censer movement is required or desired, you'll know how to do it. Work with incense. It's a powerful tool. Now that we've covered incense, we'll move on to magical sachets, also known as herbal amulets and talismans. In herb magic, a sachet is a piece of cloth filled with enchanted herbs and tied shut with a cord. Magical sachets are a convenient way to capture and gently release the powers of herbs. They can be worn, placed behind objects, in the home, under your pillow, up your chimney. The range of possibilities are limited only by your imagination. For sachets, you'll need a good supply of colored flannel or felt. 8 to 10 colors are a good basic selection, but I have 5 here for demonstration purposes. You'll also need some cord or yarn of the matching colors, preferably wool or cotton, but synthetics will do. For amulets to wear or carry, use a 4 or 5 inch square piece of cloth. For household use, an 8 or 9 inch square is fine. Right now we'll make up a third eye sachet, one designed to boost your own psychic powers. This sachet can be worn around the neck or held while scrying in the crystal, working with the tarot, tossing the I Ching, or placed beneath the pillow for prophetic dreams. We'll need bay, yarrow, lemongrass, marigold, and mace for the sachet. After enchanting each herb, add them to the mixing bowl. As you enchant, visualize yourself as having perfect control over your psychic powers. If you're making the sachet for a friend, visualize him or her doing this. Then, once the herbs are humming with power, transfer them with your fingers to the center of the cloth. Do this while still really seeing yourself having complete control over your psychic awareness. Next, still visualizing, pull the ends of the cloth together, trapping the herbs inside tightly. Then tie them with a cord of the same color, knot 3 or so times. I'm having a little trouble with my knots here, but that's okay. Knot 3 or so times, each time strongly seeing yourself or a friend as being psychic. Some people breathe into the sachet before tying it to give it life, but this isn't necessary. The herbs already should be humming and vibrating with attuned powers after their enchantment. Now the sachet is complete. You can trim off the ends of the cloth or leave them as they are. There are many possible variations. Gemstones, feathers, and other magical objects can be added. Sachets can also be anointed with magical oils. Hold the sachet. Feel its vibrations. Squeeze it gently to release its powers. Now carry it with you, or place in the home, or use during psychic sessions. Here are 4 more sachets for you to try. They're made in the same way. More recipes can be found in the magic of incense, oils, and brews. When you feel you're in need of magical protection, make and carry a flaming protection sachet. When you're feeling blue, or to remain healthy, make and wear a Mexican health sachet. Wear a 2-heart sachet to bring a love into your life. If you're feeling sad or depressed, wear the happiness sachet to lift your spirit.